Hey, Steckle Stars, welcome back to week 17 of computer class. And this week we are focusing on Google Docs. We did a little bit with Google Docs last week after we learned how to do some things in Google Drive. This week we'll have an assignment to show that we know how to do some of the skills. So let's get started. I'm going to go to my Google Apps or my waffle menu, if that's what you'd like to call it. Go to Drive. And now I'm going to make a brand new document. So I'm going to click on New and Google Docs right there. So just a reminder for some of the things we already covered. Right here is the size of my font right now. And then I have a plus and minus sign to change the size one way. Or I can just click right on the 11 and choose a new size that way. Right now, I'm at 24. The next, well, let's type something so we can see what that looks like. There we go. Make a space and on to the next skill, and that is changing the color of the font, or of the text, I should say. That is the button with the uppercase A and the nice little line underneath that tells you what color you have right now. So let's change it. Click on the A, pick a new color, and you can see the line changes color. You can also see that the blinking cursor changes color. All right. Next up is changing the font. That's just to the left of our size right here. Remember, when you make a new document, it starts out with Arial. That's the first one. And then, of course, I can pick any font that I'd like to choose. Let's see. I'll pick Impact. And now let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to press Enter 2 times and move down here to the next line for the next few items. I'm also going to change back to Arial to make sure that we're back in the basic font for the next 3 buttons. And those are the bold, italics, and underline. We'll start with bold. Now, these 3 switches are the same in that they are like light switches. You press them once to turn them on and press again to turn it off. Pretty simple. So let's try bold. Got the Y. All right, so you can see, compared to not the sentence where it's not bold, that it's much darker and the letters are thicker. So that's one way to show that the letters or the words are important. Another way to do that, let's turn off bold, is to use the next button, italics. It does exactly what the button makes it look like. It makes the letters lean sideways a little bit. Okay. And it's another way to show that some words in a sentence or a paragraph are important. Okay, let's turn that one off. Click on it and go to the next one, the U with the line under, which is for underlining. As you can see, all the words are underlined. Turn it off and the underlining will stop. Now, next step is a little bit different, and that is I want to change something about words that are already typed. Now, in order to do that, we have to do something special to tell Google Docs that we want to change those words. So if I want to change the words, hi everyone, right here, the very first set, I have to do something first. It's called selecting the text. Now, you can start at the end of the sentence or the words, or you can start at the beginning. Doesn't matter. I like to start on the right side and go to the left with my mouse. So I'm going to put my mouse right there at the end of the exclamation mark and hold the button down and just go right over top of the words. Okay? Now that's selected. Those words or those letters are selected. As long as they're selected, I can do all kinds of things to change them. For example, if I come over to Arial, to the font menu, and change it to something else, they change. Now it's still selected, so I can make other changes. So I'll go to the color, pick a new color. I can go to italics and change it to italics or turn it off. I can change the size. One thing to be careful of: don't accidentally press a button on the keyboard, because the computer will think that you want to replace all those words with whichever button you press. So if you press the space bar, it's going to make a space. If you press a letter, it'll make that letter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press the letter B. And now you can see that all of those letters were replaced by one B. Now, don't panic, because we have that great button up here in the left side of the menu called the undo button. Sometimes I jokingly call it the save my life button, because it saves me a lot of grief. Here we go. One press and everything's back. So try not to make that mistake, but if you do, don't panic. Just come up and use the undo button. All right. A couple other buttons that I'm just going to point out, and that is the buttons for aligning things, aligning your text. They're right here. Now, the first one is the one we use most of the time. That starts the cursor on the left side of the paper when you want to start typing. The next one puts it in the center. We use that at the top of a page often to make a title. Third one is called right align, and it puts it over on the right side. And that's where you'll start typing, and words will go right across the screen. But they'll stay aligned over to the right margin. Kind of interesting. The next one is called justify. And what justify tries to do is it changes the spacing between the letters so that the margin is straight, going all the way up and down on both sides of your paragraph. So when you type paragraphs for a story, both margins will be nice and straight. There won't be one that's way shorter than any other one. So most of the time, we leave it on left align. We're going to end there for today, and I'm going to just go show you how to do the assignment. So let's get back to Google Classroom. Here's the assignment, and here is the document to click on. I already have it open, so I'm going to go up to the top and get my tab open, and there it is. So your assignment has instructions on the left and a place to type your answer on the right. So here we go. What's the size of the font in this sentence? Click here and type your answer. Change the font size to 18, and then type your first name. So you click in here, change it to 18, and type your name. This one says change the font color, then type the word Steckle. Do that over here. Change the font, then type the word spring. Change the font to bold and type your name. Change the font to underlined and then type no more snow. You can see a little bit of a theme here, can't you? Change the font to italics and type your first name. And then finally, change the size and the color of the words here, Steckle Stars. And that's it for the assignment today. When you're done with that, you're finished with today's lesson. So, hope you had a great weekend, great evening, whatever day this happens to be, and look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one, Steckle Stars. See you in class.